Hey, what's going on guys? Jolts here, and I'm sorry it took so long to get the zero save out. I got really tied up in Borderlands 1 with my brick, and I'm sorry about that. So, anyways, this save will be down in the description. It will be in PC format. I will include the save I did on stream, the legit save, and also the perfect version, which I will be showing off in this video. So perfect weapons and parts and prefixes and stuff like that. And yeah, so also I want to mention I'm not using the community patch, so it's going to be the vanilla game, no mods. And yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm not going to go like heavily into the build and explain every piece of gear and what it's used for, because that would take forever. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know the main gist of this kind of build. So first off, melee weapon, we have the Grog for healing. Secondary weapon as the Rapier for, if you use Deception, it's like the best weapon to use for your final strike out of Deception. Good melee hits. Interfacer for second winds, and also it's good for short to medium range. Northleaf for second winds too. The Hided Terramorphous because it's the best melee shield in the game. The Legendary Ninja, hands down the best melee comm. The Bone of the Ancients for shock damage and also cooldown, so more Deception, which means more melee strikes. The Chain Lightning for stripping your shield and also healing from medium to long range. And here's the build, very straightforward. We have all the melee skills we need, and also Boar in case you want to use Boar on Xyperus or someone like that. The biggest things here are Death Blossom, which is good for applying Death Mark, which is going to debuff your enemy and do more damage. So it's going to apply this, which is really good. Ambush because it's added to everything, not just melee. It's also guns and everything, grenades, everything. It's nice. It's really good. Rising Shot because Rising Shot gives more damage for melee. And we have Follow Through, which is insane. It does so much damage. It's good for any build. Gun, sniping, melee, it doesn't matter. This gives you straight gun damage, which is awesome. And melee damage. Backstab because Backstab's great. Execute because it gives you double the melee damage on your strike. So make sure you're hitting those. And Resurgence, just 1 point in there so you can heal. And final skill here, Many Must Fall. That's just so you can kind of chain your melee kills. There is one more, I'm sorry. The Killing Blow, 1000% melee damage. Yeah, that's really good. So, don't miss out on that. And that's pretty much the build. And no bar. So, let's do a little bit of mobbing and kind of show how this build kind of works. And let's do it. So slag, and then go up there and get some melee hits in while waiting for the cooldown. You can also switch to your gun if you want to. There we go. I should be using Corrosive here, but it's not a big deal. Shock is still pretty okay. Alright, good. Shield is not broken, so break the shield. And then go behind him, give him a hit. Just like that. Alright, down me. And then the obvious example here, Northleaf, second win, easy. And yeah, that's basically it. So, let's do one more example here. Slag him up, kunai, get behind him, break your shield, and then switch over to the Rapier, and boom. Yeah, that's 1/3 of damage cap, visual damage cap. It's a pretty powerful build. It really is. So this is the kind of, I guess you could call it a casual zero. If you don't want to use melee or sniping, just kind of relax and easily mob. So first off, the Grog for healing, of course. Depot, second wins, and also good for healing if you want to shoot that, switch over. And then we have the Sandhawk, that's really good with the bee. You can also use, depending on the situation, elements, you could use the Interfacer, or you could switch over to the, let's say you're fighting robots, you could use the Hornet, and also Survival, you could use the Evolution or Antagonist. It's really up to you, it doesn't really matter. Northleaf for second wins. And then the comm, a lot of people like to use the Legendary Hunter or the Killer or whatever, but this boosts Follow Through +6. And now Follow Through is one of Zero's like really good skills. Like a lot of people don't really take into consideration how good it is. You're getting a lot of gun damage, movement speed so you can get to your targets faster, and overall it's just really solid. And it also boosts the Rising Shot, which is 20% more gun damage. So if you stack 5 of that, you're getting 100% more gun damage, which is pretty good. So I prefer using that over anything else, to be honest. And it does boost pistol, rate of fire in the mag size and shield recharge rate, so that's good for the bee. And also, you don't have to use pistols for this. You're still getting follow through and Rising Shot for your other guns too. Pistols will benefit the most, but you can really use anything you want. Bone of the Ancients, that's just good for anything. You can use the Sheriff's Badge too if you really want some fire rate. It really doesn't matter. You can kind of apply those two together and have a trunk effect, as you can see there. It's not bad. And the Chain Lightning for healing, and also, you know, actually it's only for healing. I was going to say Strip Your Shield, but that's for melee. Here's the build. It's a little bit different from melee, but still kind of similar. We did grab one shot, one kill for gun damage. That's good out of Deception. And then we have the a little bit of Two Fang, not too much. You really don't need a whole lot in there. Two Fang does proc pretty consistently when you're shooting a lot of bullets. And then we actually have Execute. Now that is a melee skill, but it's still really good for just any build because if you're in Deception and strike your enemy, you can actually stun them for a second and get your reload in, or do whatever you need to do so you can take out the enemy. So it's a very useful skill. And yeah, that's pretty much it, and let's go ahead and show it off. Alright, so we're over at the Badlands, and since everything's kind of weak to fire, we're going to go ahead and use fire. So we have the interfacer on, and as you can see here, slide kunai, shoot them up, and they're pretty much dead. And now we have follow through, so that's going to chain to each enemy, and pretty much do insane damage. Alright, we need health, chain lightning, grog, done. Or you can use the Deepa, shoot that, switch over to the grog. That's good for healing too. And of course, an Orfleet. And pretty straightforward. And in case you don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you do, pretty much know this kind of combo, but the Bee and Sandhawk, yeah, pretty broken. Let's see here. No slag, no kunai. Yeah, you're dead. Alright, so onto the sniping build. I actually have so many items on me that most of them are in the safe. So if you don't see them in your inventory, it's in the safe. So just so you know. So first off, we have the Pimpernel, that's for slag. The Lyuda is for critical ascension stacking, and also it's a great sniper for damage. The Bee, because more damage. The Neutral Rogue for the mag size and fire rate, because that's really good for sniping and stacking critical ascension. The skills really don't matter because most of the damage comes from critical ascension. The Bone of the Ancients for extra damage and also cooldown. And since you actually cannot have the grog on when you're doing the critical ascension stacking, because if you switch over to any other weapon besides a sniper, your stacks go away. So our source of healing comes from the transfusion here. So that's why we have that. And so the build is pretty straightforward. Again, this tree is always needed for any build because kunai and Deathmark is so good. You always want those. Again, follow through, a lot of damage, any build. And so the main things here are critical ascension. So you're getting a bunch of extra damage if you land crits, and keep stacking those up to get more damage, which means you have to be pretty accurate. So this is kind of a high skill tiered kind of build. So I would recommend kind of practicing, you know, sniping before you really get into this build, because it does take a little bit of skill to get used to. And that's more, you know, mag size and reload speed and stuff like that. Always good. And we don't want velocity because if you did not know, with velocity, it makes your spread bigger on your guns like the Pimpernel. So it's not going to slag as often. And also the Lyuda, when you shoot it, you can see it splits into more bullets. If you have velocity, it's going to split a lot further away, which means you're not going to be hitting those bullets from like medium to closer range, which is not good. Like longer range it would be okay, but for the most part, it's not really going to benefit you too much unless you're, you know, really, really long range. So I don't recommend it. And that's pretty much that build. And no bar, and let's go ahead and show it off. Alright, so I switched over to the antagonist because the Bee really is not heavily needed for sniping. So let's go ahead and get started here. We have a mix of enemies here, so this is kind of why you want to have all the elements on your disposal. So robots, flesh, and you kind of just pick your target. So slag, kunai, switch over to what you need. So fire. You can see Boar lights him up to where you're going to see the critical hit spots. So kind of sit back, snipe him off. This guy's coming up. Need some health, transfusion. Slag him up. Then kunai. Switch over to the corrosive. There we go. We're up to 6 stacks. That's not very good so far. Is that someone? It is someone. What are you doing? I think he's stuck. Alright, slag, kunai. It's a slow kind of process, but it's very safe, you know. You don't have to really rush into battle and kind of risk it, so. I apologize for my sniping, I'm not the best, especially on the controller. Are you teabagging? He is teabagging. What are you doing? You can see the more you hit crits, the more damage you get, so that's pretty cool. Alright, get this dude over here. A little bit of kunai, back it up. Don't get too close either. Alright, peek. There we go, there's a lot of damage. Yeah, it's a little bit to get used to, but once you really get it down, like, I'm not the best at showing this off or whatever, because I'm not very good at this, so this is a really bad example, but once you really get it down, you can really take you can really benefit from this kind of build. And like I said, it's very safe too, so you're not going to be, you know, rushing into battle and getting hit a lot. So 16 stacks, not doing too bad. A little bit more, let's do one more here. Hit a crit, come on. I'm wasting a lot of ammo too, that's not very good. But you can see there a crit hit 28 million damage. That's pretty crazy. There we go, 97 million, nice. And that's pretty much the build. So I do hope you guys did enjoy the video, and like I said, the save will be down in the description. And yeah, so if you did enjoy the video, then please be sure to leave a like, because that'd be epic. And also, if you have any questions about this save, go ahead and comment below, and I will reply and try to help you out. You guys have a great day, and peace out.